CY is going to be a garrison monster, and I predicted this, but now I've got the test results to prove it. And okay, I get that testing is not perfect for this commander for a number of reasons, but I like to try to put my money where my mouth is and show you the proof. So in this video, we're going to go over the garrison testing that we did on stream last night, because I think it's really insightful, and I'll give you all the conclusions about where he's good, where he's mid, and where he definitely falls down, because unlike other garrisons we've seen recently, there's actually some pretty powerful rock, paper, scissors at play here. But before I go into all of those details, let me take a moment to thank the sponsor of today's video. One of the greatest games from my childhood, that's Age of Empires, is going mobile starting on October 17th. Now you can use my link in the description to pre-register for the game, and if you'd like, you can join my start group, which is on October 20th, and that will help you compete for a share in $10,000 worth of prizes. But more on the prizes in just a second. Let me tell you about Age of Empires Mobile. This is a city building wargame like you've seen me cover on this channel for the last 6 years, and it's set in the iconic Age of Empires franchise. It's being co-developed by major development studios, including Microsoft's World Edge, and the graphics of Age of Empires Mobile will give you the authentic Age of Empires vibe, from the civilization all the way down to the heroes and the troops and the architectural details. And as you would expect, in a city building war game, you'll collect and level heroes, you'll build up your collection of equipment and train troops to fill your armies for both PvE and PvP, with the ultimate goal of crowning a king for your kingdom by capturing the Imperial City. Which brings us to the competition. Another reason you might want to be hyped for the launch of the game, and you might want to join with my group, is to be competing for that share of $10,000 worth of prizes for capturing the Imperial City. On my server, whichever group gets there first is going to win the prizes, and that's pretty hype. So I'm organizing a group, hopefully we win, and we've got over 600 people already lined up to play together, so consider joining my group using the Discord link in the description of this video for an insanely action-packed and competitive start to the game on October 20th. Again, you can use my link in the description to pre-register for the game, and my Discord server link in the description to join our Age of Empires Mobile start group to compete for your share in the $10,000 worth of prizes. So yeah, there's a lot of reasons why CY is a little bit difficult to test. First of all, he's doing healing, and unless you're reinforcing the rally and the garrison, that can make the reports look a little bit weird. Although, hey, some amount of healing can be helpful in improving your sort of trade quality. Even if you're refilling a garrison, things can get dicey, all right? In addition, he does true damage, which means you need full equipment and full armaments to really see the power of that true damage. But the problem is, we don't have anybody with the kind of armaments that actually can stand up to the kind of kitted out, full arch craziness setup that our infantry rally leads had. So we did this testing without equipment, without reinforcements, and I still think we can learn some valuable things. And I will point out that this garrison commander is kind of doing all of the things I have been asking for garrison commanders to do. So he is doing area of effect damage. He's got healing, which is a form of sustain, but more importantly, he's got a nice defense boost. He's got a normal attack damage boost, which is good. He takes less normal damage, which is good anti-swarm. He's got a way to sort of dismantle the rally, which is pretty powerful. Oh, and by the way, he increases healing received. Kind of crazy, but more importantly, this commander's troop deals 25% more counter, and if the target has fewer units than this commander's troop, then your counterattack is also boosted. Bro, I mean, I don't know that they could do much more with this garrison that is all of that anti-swarm stuff that I've been wanting without just absolutely making a meta that we would never recover from. So I expect that he will be really good anti-swarm. And as I said I sort of expected would be the case, the two garrison commanders we want to get a look at is Hera, first of all. Hera has just amazing anti-swarm, so this is one of the two garrisons we tested. And the other garrison that performed way better than I thought, like shockingly better than I thought, was Dido, okay? And Dido is exciting for more than one reason. Not only, okay, she's a pure archer garrison, but She also has the support talent tree. And in the support talent tree, you can do some kind of funky stuff, increasing your heal strength, make it so you get attack after you do healing. So there's actually some really cool synergies here with the Dido in the garrison, all right? So let's go to some of these reports, and I will give you the conclusions, which I think will surprise you. We're going to go all the way down here to the very first report. It's CY Hera against Skippy Wallace. And you might think, bro, that garrison has gear or armaments on, right? Like it has to be the case. No. Nope. This was the trade. The new infantry get absolutely raffle stomped by CY. It was jaw-dropping. Now, I get that with equipment, the calculus will change, and armaments, the calculus will change, okay? But if you were wondering if the healing shielding formation could be legit, I think so. We'll talk more about where I think this combo will really excel in just a bit. Because although this dismantled the infantry not once but twice with a pretty similar result, when we ran the cavalry, the result flipped. So cavalry absolutely raffle stomped the CY Hera garrison. So it's funny, I got a message from Minty, you know, the dude who has been trying to get gifted a membership on my channel forever, and it took so long, even though tons of people were gifting, that he just gave up and gifted himself. He bought a membership. He said, when are you going to apologize to Cav mains? Cav mains, I'm sorry. You do have a role, and it's here. Cav rally, Nevsky Justinian absolutely slaps. We'll talk about the implications of the fact that this rally is a very, very swarmable rally. But this was not like a one-time phenomena. We went and we ran it back and got the same result. So this is very, very impressive for the Cavs. Bad news for the CY. So then we tried archers because we got to give everybody a fair shake here. And even the archers were absolutely slapping with the Ash Zhuge Liang. Okay? Kind of nuts. Kind of nuts. Here is when we switch gears, though. All right? So if the Hera is maybe not the play, then maybe Dido CY does better. And as it turns out, we won this report but lost the trade, which is hilarious, and that's a function of healing. So Dido CY beat the Cavs, Nevsky and Justinian. Now, the funny thing is that I want to say it was like Milton in the live stream chat who was like, you think it's funny now that the Cavs are sort of either going even or winning? Just wait till new Cavs show up by the end of the year, and let's see what it looks like then. And they're not wrong. That, like, yeah, archers will have a moment to shine, but beware cavalry. And like I said earlier in the video, the rock, paper, scissors, which I think is healthy for this game, is kind of on its way back. So here we see a very similar report. This time, the Dido CY won the trade, but barely, against the Nevsky and Justinian, 190,000 to 194,000 in favor of the Dido. From here, CY Shajar. Look, chat really wanted to see this garrison. And I agree. I mean, I wanted to see it, even though Shajar's got technically, I think, 2 skills that don't work in the garrison. So yeah, the healing numbers were absolutely insane in this combo. Like jaw-dropping, they were healing for like 50k plus. It was nuts, but they're just bringing back troops to get absolutely wrecked. So I don't think the double healing combo is the way to go, unless maybe we're talking about just like living an arc long enough where you don't really care about the trade, but you just want to prolong the fight. This fight took forever. It prolonged the fight, but the trade was god-awful. So, GG's. I don't think Shajar is the answer in the garrison. Now we know. we did it once. Okay, you can see she's expertised. Do not. No, it is not a thing. Okay, then we did Dido CY. This was someone trying to reinforce the rally for the report with the one trooper. Technically, that slightly diminishes the power of the rally, but whatever. The rally got wrecked here. The archers got wrecked by this combo, the Dido CY. So Dido CY does look like the stronger combo. Better than the CY Hera combo. And we ran another one, Henry with Ash, and that also got raffle stomped by the Dido CY. So what I would take away from this is that we're about to enter into a CY meta, okay? And I think that these results, if you think that healing skews the results in favor of the garrison, you just keep in mind the fact that so will true damage once everybody's wearing equipment, right? So I think we're about to enter into a Dido, CY, and just Archer meta in general. And here's the conclusions I would draw about the role of each of these garrisons. I think if we're talking about a pass or a fort, archers are going to slap. I think that the Dido CY garrison could struggle against a swarm, but CY might elevate the anti-swarm enough that this still becomes a good but less defensible garrison in a Kingsland flag situation. So if you can control the field, you can pop this garrison in and be like, hey, rally it if you want, but you're going to get cooked. Similarly, I think that we can get value from CY and Hera in a Kingsland situation, and arguably this is the better anti-swarm garrison. So if you can hold enough field that they can't just pummel you with the cav rallies that are very swarmable but high DPS, then I think your CY Hera ends up being a better anti-swarm garrison. So if I were going into Kingsland today, I would say Dido with CY goes into your flags, your forts, and if you're controlling the field, your Kingsland flags as well. It would be very good there. But if you can't control the field and you're just going to have to eat swarming, then you probably want to switch to the CY Hera and just fill with whatever. I think that Gorgo is still going to play a big role. I think that Gorgo with Attila is still, in a KVK where you can switch troop typing, going to be absolutely dominant. But I think that archers now have a role again. And you may recall from my last KVK, I was like, bro, archers are actually just worthless. The one and only thing that we could do with our archers and pretend like it was efficient-ish was to rally cities. And like, send your archers at the cities, GGs, fill mixed garrisons, I guess, with your archers. It was not amazing. Cav had a good role. Infantry had a great role. And infantry are looking super countered right now. Obviously, there's room to do more tests. Obviously, there is room to improve the sophistication of those tests, which certainly is something I would be interested in participating in if somebody else set it up. But at the same time, I feel like the takeaways are very, very unlikely to change. And at this point, probably more value would be had spectating people's KVKs and seeing how it's actually performing. In my opinion, at this stage, that is the more sort of, I think, insightful approach. I personally feel very confident that it is unlikely I would change what I'm doing and that a result would come in that would indicate that. Now, is CY going to be good in the open field? So I'm definitely looking forward to doing that testing, so consider subscribing so you don't miss out. Big thank you again to the makers of Age of Empires Mobile for sponsoring today's video. I'm looking forward to my group start in Age of Empires Mobile. Like, I'm genuinely very, very, very hyped to just go absolutely nuts and to win our share of that $10,000 prize pool, all right? And I'll just give a little plug here that, like, we've already got over 600 people committed to the team. We've got a leadership team that I've worked with 3 times in the past to get wins in 3 different games. And we've got a player that's going to go for the mythic tier King Arthur and be the first in the world to get it, potentially. I mean, we've got a great team being assembled here, and you can be a part of it and potentially get some of those prizes too. I think what we're going to do is like a drawing based on all active players, and like there's $10,000 in prizes. I think it's 3 iPhone 16 Pros and then a bunch of gift cards. So join us. Links in the description. Okay, both for my Discord server for the group and to pre-register for the game. Game goes live on the 17th. My group starts on the 20th. GG's, y'all. And if you want to see the Archer testing live, cards here and here. You could see the live stream, and you could see my theory crafting. It all came to fruition. GG's, everybody.